This guide to breaking 80 is brought to you by Swing Tweaks, the only golf industry sponsor I've ever agreed to take on. And stay tuned for their giveaway later in today's video. Broadmoor isn't dissimilar from many munis. It's not long, and it doesn't boast a difficult rating. So why do so many amateurs struggle to break their scoring barriers on layouts like these? I think it's because the golf industry misleads them into chasing the wrong goals. For one thing, you don't need booming drives on a course like this. You just can't lose strokes off the tee.
Look at that. That did work.
And I can't stress that enough. When you don't play 3 off the tee and leave yourself with unobstructed lines into greens, the margin for error grows massively. So much so that you can hit skanky wedges like these.
Ooh, chunk pull.
And still leave yourself with plenty of looks at birdie.
But it's putting. Okay.
But birdies per round isn't what separates the scratch from the mid or high handicap player. In addition to limiting penalty strokes, this is the most important area of the game where you can gain strokes. From outside 25 feet, tour pros 3-putt less than 10% of the time. And if you can find yourself consistently 2-putting from this range, you'll find you don't need a scratch golfer's approach play. You just need to 2-putt far more often than not. Is it easier said than done? Sure. Let's take a look at doing these things wrong.
Nice.
A total miss with the driver.
All right, 280 in.
Means I can't go for this green. Instead, I'll have to lay up. But I was lazy over this one and didn't get the number to the water, which this shot finds. So we've hit a stray tee shot and taken a penalty stroke. And this short, easy hole suddenly has me on the green in 4. Onto a 6-footer, which we should expect to make a good amount of the time.
Nope.
But I miss it, and just like that, we've carded a double. I do hate doubles, but my mental game is transformed by trying to limit doubles while being totally at peace with bogeys. Repeat after me. Bogey isn't a bad score. On this 430-yard par 4, I know that even a decent drive will leave me 200 yards in, where my green make percentage is low. Hitting this one's obviously a bonus, but I won't treat the birdie putt any differently than I would a putt for 7. I'm fine with a 2-putt here, and thrilled that I've escaped stroke hole 3 with a par. So what about par 5s? They actually provide the rare opportunity to miss a shot or two, and still come away unscathed.
Hold on.
My drive is a stray here, and the only goal over this one is to get it back in play. From here, it's just another wedge onto the green, and lo and behold, we're back to lag putting. 40% of the game is played with the flat stick, and given that you can practice putting at home, I think 40% of your practice time should be spent with the putter, for more 2-putts and more pars.
YouTubers might get angry if I don't hit them in.
So what about the rest of your practice time? I know a lot of us like to see our swing on video, but self-diagnosis isn't the way to improve. With Swing Tweaks, you can upload a couple of videos of your swing, describe the poor shots that creep into your game, and within a few hours, you'll receive personalized feedback from a PGA pro, complete with narrated video of your swing and drills and exercises to work on. So many of you have become avowed tweakers, and for those of you who haven't yet, how's this for a giveaway? Swing Tweaks is giving away free tweaks to the first 20 of you who use a promo code we've hidden in the background of this video. They pop up a couple of times in the background, like this. And even if you're not one of the first 20 to use the code, you'll still get 20% off. Back to the golf. A drive up the middle left me with another wedge in, and one more look at birdie. But breaking 80 for me rarely entails fistfuls of birdies, and I'm always happy with a par. Things did go off the rails earlier in this round on the second hole.
Oh, that's got to go.
And the next 2 holes are a good reminder that breaking 80 can still include its own disaster stretches. I had to pull this out of a bush for an unplayable, and after a great chip, I do something we should almost never do.
Nice putt, Adam.
Miss a putt inside 3 feet. And like I said, doubles are such score killers, and suddenly I'm 4 over through 6.
How far does the water poke out here? Like if you're over that mound, are you wet? No. Okay, so just between the mound and the 150 is like ideal line?
I've identified my line here, but a pull off my target sets the stage for yet another disaster hole.
So 120, and it's so buried. I'm going to play it out to the right that the miss is dry.
And despite laying a conservative plan for this shot, I think the problem on it was loft.
Nice.
Lack of effing talent.
Nice.
And it gets worse.
All right, well, we lost this hole.
But you know what I try to do in these moments? Stay in good spirits. The round is long, and we have to accept that blow-up holes happen. I actually missed recording my 5th shot onto this green amidst the chaos. And I mentioned earlier that I treat a putt the same whether it's for birdie or for double. Every stroke counts on the card, and it's a great 2-putt triple. But like I said, I'll stay in good spirits. I have to shoot even par over the last 11 holes to break 80, but I've played enough to know that I can do it. And I encourage golfers trying to break 100 to embody the same mindset. You've strung together pars in the past, and you can still do it now, but not if you stew over the last few holes or change your game plan.
For the viewers.
And I'm happy to get back on track with the par here. I know all the positive mindset talk may sound trite, and I'm not saying that the entire game is played between the ears. Only most of it. So much of the game is emotional regulation. As handicap players, we're out there taking lots of bad shots in every round.
Thanks.
Some of them are a loft problem, but I've learned from countless rounds with other golfers that the biggest scores come from trying that hero shot after hitting a bad one, from refusing to play for bogey, or from mentally checking out as the round goes sideways. For all of us, better scores will still have bad shots. They'll just have fewer unnecessary bad shots, and some unspectacular pars.
Didn't hit it.
Like this one. Lots of greens in regulation on the front, which highlights just how penal those blow-up holes are. But spoiler alert, we avoided them on the back, and there is a sub-80 round in the cards today. How do we avoid the blow-up holes? Here's a demonstration. This drive gets caught in some thick rough, and after a bad break on the second shot...
That hit the 150. It actually hit the pole.
The third is one that most wouldn't consider worthy of a sub-80 round.
Or to do that, right?
Even getting this one on the green is a feat. But this is where I won't bemoan having a lengthy putt for par. Every shot must have a purpose. I go through my routine, take in that this is a steeply uphill putt, and give it a good wrap. It still doesn't quite get there, but we escape this hole with just a bogey. So this is another key moment where I'll have to trust the process in spite of the results so far. I'll remind myself that as easily as I can make a bogey on a par 5 I typically par, it's within me to score on a long par 3 like this one. I may expect to make lots of bogeys on this hole, but that doesn't mean that I accept that result before taking my first shot. Your next shot can always be the best one of the day, and an above average one is fine too. Yeah. What's left now is another putt from very long range, and once again, 2-putting these is what separates those 78s from 82s, and those 88s from 92s. I'll happily take this par and run.
Thanks.
Another par 5, and another one of my terrible shots today. And while I know I can't muscle my 3-wood 225 uphill, I'll get away with another unspectacular shot here.
I just wish I could play your style of ball.
Just knuckle it around.
A chip onto the green now gives me a look at birdie, but it's one that I can't be aggressive with. I'll get it started going down this hill, and clean it up for par. Next is another hole with an expected score above par. But just like the last par 3, I'm not thinking about that here. I'm just playing the shot at hand, and with good thoughts over the ball, out comes a good swing, followed, at long last, with the birdie putt that finally drops.
There we go.
Another par 5. It seems like a while since we've played a par 4, and once again, we'll be called on not to hit a spectacular golf shot, but just to swallow our pride and punch out. Sure, it leaves a long way home, but it's back in play, which should limit our worst score on this hole to just a bogey. Better yet, I managed to hit the green with this one, and we'll actually have a look at birdie. It's another one that needs a belt uphill, and despite the elements...
Through a bit of a minefield there, yeah.
We've officially righted the ship after the rough start today.
Thanks.
And as much as the theme of this video is breaking 80, out on the course, I was just trying to stay focused over every shot. With my driver a bit squirrely today, I'm more confident playing a dogleg left with my 3-wood, which I use to leave myself a short iron in here. This one's just fine for another look at birdie, which we don't quite get to drop, so it's just another boring par. After pulling head covers for the last 2 par 3s, I relish having a short iron in hand for this one. And we're going to have a birdie putt for the 6th consecutive hole. Again, gone are the memories of the bad stretch. In fact, we almost get this one to go.
Thanks.
And we'll take one more par. A solid drive here, and my playing partners like it.
Oh,
That's good. That's good.
Followed by just another wedge in. And next, predictably, another 30-footer. And when your lag putting is really dialed, you even threaten the hole with these from time to time.
Oh!
Instead, another boring par. So breaking 80 today will come down to this, and it's not a promising start. This punch-out is the best I could muster, but maybe the golf gods just smiled on me today, because after getting this one miraculously close, I'm able to convert it for easily my best up and down of the day.
Oh, clutch. What a par.
It seems reasonable karma after finding some unfortunate double squares on the front. But the real takeaway from rounds like this is that good scores still entail a whole lot of unspectacular golf, and sometimes downright ugly golf. The key is to try to limit the big numbers, roll with them when you do card them, and always stay in the battle. I hope that's helpful for when you're tackling your scoring goals on the course.